Guten Abend und willkommen zur Spielvorschau von Red Bull Leipzig gegen Liverpool in der Champions League. No, I'm not speaking German this whole preview. Let me just say that right now. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. Welcome to the match preview of Red Bull Leipzig against Liverpool in the Champions League. And I have to say, this is a wee bit strange because I've been joined by a very good friend, Reece Russell. You will know him more from the podcast, but Reece, how are you doing?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Obviously, we are recording this before, obviously, the league games at the weekend. But, obviously, Leipzig against Liverpool, you have to say that probably Leipzig's biggest game of the season, would you say?
I would have to say so, yeah. Bar the obvious league games against Dortmund or Bayern Munich, I would have to say this is the biggest game of the season so far. Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, how would you sum up Leipzig's season so far? Because I think to say that, you know, they went through in the Champions League, they played really, really well in the group stage, got a few scalps along the way, and had a bit of a beating to obviously Manchester United, of course, at Old Trafford, and then they beat them at the Leipzig Arena as well. So how would you sum up their season?
I would have to say they've actually had a very good season. I mean, they're currently second in the league. I think they're 7 points behind. 7 points behind Bayern Munich in the league, which frankly is not too bad, all considering. And then they play in about 20 minutes' time. They play against Augsburg, who are currently 13th. I expect that to be a comfortable win. I don't really see Augsburg doing any damage at all to Leipzig. I think they've had a very good season overall, and I was tipping them to win the league, but I think it's probably going to stick with Bayern. But I would say Leipzig are going to be close to the champions. They just need something in there to give them a championship mentality, like to win the league. But yeah, overall, I would say they've had a very good season.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with them in the Bundesliga because, like, everyone would say, okay, like, Borussia Dortmund would be, usually second, but this season it seems to be Leipzig. Dortmund have really, really fallen off the pecking order. So I've been very, very impressed. And one man that has to come into this is your manager. Now, I have to say, when I saw him against Manchester United at Old Trafford, he looked like he was about to be going to a fancy dress party, but you're a big, big fan of Nagelsmann, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I absolutely love the guy. He's fantastic. He is what every football club needs as a manager. Like, he's that good. Like, even for his age, he's so far ahead. For a 33-year-old, I've got so much respect for him.
Absolutely, he's a great manager, and obviously, he will be linked with the big clubs, but You keep saying to me on the podcast that if Solskjaer ever left United, you would want him as United manager.
No one else.
No one else.
No one else. No, it would be him only. Like, forget club legends that are another option. No, it's him. 100%.
Well, we will see. We will see what we'll see what happens. Obviously, with the end of the season. But yeah, Nagelsmann is a fantastic manager. So let's get into the game because obviously COVID restrictions aside, obviously this is going to be in the Puskas Arena. Do you think it's going to have any effect on Leipzig not obviously playing in their home stadium in Germany?
I think so. Leipzig have had a very good record at home, even since they've began the whole plan of getting to the Premier League under the Red Bull group. They've had a phenomenal record at home, especially in the Bundesliga as well. The statistics are absolutely unreal. Goals wise, even in terms of conceding goals, they very rarely concede at home, and even if they do concede, it's not by a high amount. It's always like one or two in it. It's very low. So yeah, effectively so. I think it's going to have more of an effect on Liverpool. I think Liverpool are quite comfortable playing in Germany. Liverpool, from what I know, have got a fantastic record in Germany compared to playing at home in the Champions League against German teams. So
yeah,
I think it's good. I think it's going to be more of an issue on Liverpool than it might be on Leipzig. But
Hmm.
don't quote me on that, because like the reason I say that's because it can go either way for either
Hmm.
team. And the fact it's not a designated home side, it's a neutral ground. That's what I think is going to be more interesting. So we'll see how it goes from there.
I know, and as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the Puskas Arena is surrounded by us both. It looks absolutely fantastic, and obviously it is the Hungarian national stadium. It looks a fantastic stadium, but yeah, obviously I think Leipzig would obviously want to play at home. But what I have heard is that potentially the second leg might be played away from Anfield. So that could be very interesting. But with our record at Anfield recently, I think I would want to be away from the bloody place, in all honesty. But no, I think obviously both teams are going to find the travelling a little bit difficult as well.
Yeah.
But as I said, the Pushkash Arena, it looks fantastic and it looks like it's ready to go. And that's not the only game that's going to be played there. That's obviously Borussia Mönchengladbach against Manchester City, but this is all about Leipzig, Liverpool. So obviously Leipzig will obviously look at Liverpool's recent form, and obviously the centre backs problem for Liverpool, which, let's be honest, Leipzig don't have a problem with that, because you've got Upamecano, you've obviously got Mukele, and you've obviously got Kanate as well. So do you think Leipzig will fancy their chances on Tuesday?
I think so. The one thing I also say is, like, the club is so rich with defence. I mean, you've got Klosterman and Holstenberg, who are fullbacks by nature, converted into centre-backs playing in the back three. You've got club captain Willie Orban as well, who's coming back into the team as well from an injury last season. You mentioned Kanate. Mukiele is a centre-back who's now playing out fullback, but they've got Benjamin Honrique as another option. So you've got the sense there. I think that's probably their core strength, is their defence. Especially you've got Galachi in goal, so at 33 is still going very strong.
Yeah.
Best defence in the league last year. Still one of the top defences this season. I wouldn't put it past the Leipzig defence being the focal point, especially because, like, Leipzig's main goal threat this year has come from the likes of Angelino, and it's going to keep building and building and building. I mean, at the weekend as well, we played Schalke. At the weekend in Gelsenkirchen, and we beat them 3-0. And it was goals from Sabitzer scored, but there was also goals from Willie Orban and Mukiele. So both centre backs got the goals there as well. It was a dominant performance. All 5 subs were used. No surprise there by Nagelsmann, who has opted to strengthen his squad. And I've literally got the team lineup from Sunday's game. They played a 3-1-4-2 formation. Galachi was in goals. You had a back three of Mukiele, Upamecano, and Orban as a back three. Tyler Adams and Sabitzer were playing wing back. I was quite interested to see Sabitzer playing as a wing back, because he's naturally a central midfielder, but it actually worked very well. He was controlling from the left-hand side. And then you had in the middle, you had Tasende and you had Dani Olmo, who is a superb creative midfielder. Naturally a winger, but can play through the middle anyway, so he's quite versatile. Spanish players normally are. And then up top, he played a front two of Alexander Sorloth, and he played Christian Nkunku, who has been superb in the race for the assist plan this year. He's currently the top assist maker for the team, no surprise there. And Angelino's the club's top goal scorer in the league, so it says it all, really, how the team's progressed. It's lacking a goal scorer in Timo Werner, but the team's contributions is at least trying to build up from it. That's my biggest worry, is there's not a real goal scorer there. But hey ho, and the fact that he brought on Poulsen and Hwang Hee-chan from the bench, he brought on Klosterman, Holstenberg, and he brought on Haidara as well. He clearly knows what he's going with. If he needs to bring players on, like, he recognises situations very quickly. That's one of, I would say, his biggest strengths, is tactical versatility and recognising the situation if it's not going wrong. And we were already leading 2-0 anyway prior to each substitution. Yeah. It's just a matter of he's managing his squad so much better than anyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously there's going to be a bit of an emotional reunion with Liverpool for Peter Galachi, who let's be honest, he didn't get his chance at Liverpool, so it's really nice to see him, get his chance, and obviously he'll be able to play in the, the Puskas Arena. Somebody else who has gone under the radar is, I'm gonna butcher this name, so apologies if there's any Hungarians watching. Szoboszlai, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Dominic Szoboszlai. Yeah.
What have you made of his impact so far when he's been on the pitch for Leipzig?
I like watching him play. I liked watching him when he was at Salzburg as well. I mean, I liked his combinations when he played alongside Patson Daka. When he received the ball from Max Wober as well at centre back, there was very good link there between the three of them. It worked very well. I like his impact. He's such a good player, and I said it to you before we started the recording of the show, and I'll consistently say it. Szoboszlai was perhaps the best player outside the top 5 leagues in football, because obviously no one really considers the Austrian Bundesliga as a top league. I understand why, because obviously it's not really up there in terms of quality, but I think it'd be quite naive to ignore the impact that Salzburg have had in European football of late, because they have been dominant at times, especially from the Marco Rose days to now. I'm not 100% sure who their manager is at the moment, so there's no point naming anybody I don't know. But they're still dominating, and Szoboszlai, his impact is fantastic, especially when he's been playing for Leipzig. He's taking his game to a new level. He's not been playing for a little while. I think it was due to injury, but to be fair, that happens when you move to a new league, so I wouldn't really call much of an issue. And besides, there's so much quality in that position, like that he's going to get better and better to fight for a place anyway. So that's what I like about it. And for a 19-year-old, superb.
Oh, 19. I mean, I remember the Salzburg team that played Liverpool at Anfield. I think it was either last season or the season before. And I think
was that the season before when Napoli were also in your group?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it Haaland up top as well?
Haaland up top with Minamino, Szoboszlai. I think Hanwei Chang played that day as well. So
yeah,
you look at Salzburg, you look at like that Salzburg team, and you look at like those 4 are now in like probably 4 of the biggest clubs in Europe. No, Minamino. Well, obviously Minamino's on loan at Southampton, but obviously he is still at Liverpool. Haaland at Borussia Dortmund. And then Hanwei Chan, and now Szoboszlai at Leipzig as well. So I like the fact that Salzburg traded, sent him to the sister club, as they say. Actually, this is going to be the first ever meeting between Liverpool and Leipzig, and it's the first ever meeting between Jurgen Klopp and Julian Nagelsmann. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because Klopp had left Dortmund before Leipzig joined the league. So Nagelsmann versus Klopp, what are you expecting? Are you expecting fireworks?
I'm expecting an all-round attacking display here. I think it is going to be an attacking game. I think Nagelsmann is going to edge this over Klopp. His tactical versatility is second to none. I'm not going to doubt Klopp's tactical sense here. I'd be extremely naive, because Klopp is a very good manager when it comes to a tactical game, but I just think the way Nagelsmann builds his teams, it doesn't matter what system he uses, it's always the same, it's always effective. And we've seen it against the likes of PSG. He's done it against Bayern Munich last year. They were the only team last year to stop Bayern Munich scoring at home in the league. The 0-0 draw at the Allianz Arena. The 0-0 draw at the Allianz Arena. It was the only game all season Bayern Munich did not score. And it says it all, really. And it was a back three of Upamecano, Klostermann, and Holstenberg as a back three. It was the exact same back three you would possibly expect this coming week in the league as well. And they've also got the cup game against Wolfsburg coming up as well. So it's going to build their like Leipzig's team. I don't think they're going to win the league, but I think they're going to win the DFB Pokal, considering the Bayern Munich aren't even in it. So there's no way that Leipzig can throw this away. If they do, I'll be very disappointed.
Or meet my German team, Mönchengladbach. That would be nice if they could both meet.
Yeah, I think Mönchengladbach have got a chance. I think if you had to name who's potentially going to win the DFB Pokal, I would have to say it's either Mönchengladbach, Leipzig, or if they beat Leipzig, I would say Wolfsburg, because they have got, even though they've not got a fantastic squad, they've got a very good team ethic. And I think their
Yeah.
team ethic has always been their strength. It's just a shame they're not as strong as they used to be. But I think it's going to be Leipzig overall. I think that one trophy to get Nagelsmann going. It's the same with Marco Rose. He's going to need a trophy. But I think he's going to end up at Dortmund. But I like where this is going. Both teams play excellent football. If I could watch any team in the league all day long, it'd be those two.
I know, and we look at last season as well. Leipzig made the semi-finals, and obviously they were beaten eventually by, PSG. Obviously, by RB finalists. Yeah, they were. I thought they were the better team throughout the 2 legs in that game. So Leipzig are a very, very dangerous side. So with that being said, what do you think the lineup that Nagelsmann will play against Liverpool on Tuesday?
I think he'll have the back 3. I think he might switch it to a back 5. I think he might play a back 5 system. We'll see. I think he's going to play Galachi in goals is obvious. I think he's going to play a back 3 of Upamecano, Klosterman, and Orban. And I think he's going to play Angelino, and I think he's going to play Mukiele as the wing backs. In midfield, I'm thinking Sabitzer and Kevin Campbell, and then in there he's going to play 2 wide. Potentially 2 wide forwards. If he plays a back 3, he'll potentially use 2 wide forwards. I'm thinking that'll be Dani Olmo and Forsberg and maybe Nkunku up top. But I'm thinking it's going to be Galachi, Orban, Upamecano, Klosterman, and as a back 3, and then he'll play the 3-4-2-1. So he'll play Angelino and Mukiele on the wide sides, Sabitzer, Campbell in the middle, Sorloth up top, Nkunku, and I'm going to say Forsberg potentially as the other wide forward. I think Olmo might start on the bench. He is starting tonight, but I think he won't against Liverpool. I think it'll be Forsberg for experience, which I think is what's going to tip it in their favour. But it could be either way. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I think it's going to be a 3-4-2-1, not the 5 at the back.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. That is a good team. I'm not going to lie, because obviously Sorloth. I mean, obviously everyone remembers him at Crystal Palace. He wasn't the best at Crystal Palace, but seems to have, found his home in Leipzig. So. Yeah, and Cuckoo is a great player as well. So yeah, sorry if I'm butchering these names, guys. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very tricky game. So, who do I think Klopp will play? Well, I'm going to say Alisson Becker. I think that's a certainty. I think Alexander-Arnold. I think Kabak will come in. There is doubt over Fabinho. There's a doubt over Thiago as we speak. So I think it'll be Phillips with Kabak. I think Robertson will play. And then I think it'll be a Gini, Hendo. And then I'm going to go... Do I go Curtis Jones or do I go James Milner? I'm going to go Curtis Jones. And then it'll be the front 3. It'll be Mane, Salah, Firmino. But I have to say that Leipzig are obviously they're not at home, but I know that they're a very good defensive, team to keep out the opposition. And Liverpool are just in poor form. So this game could go either way. It could go either way. We could have a very defensive first leg, or we could have a very good attacking first leg. So with that being said, what is your prediction for the game on Tuesday?
I'm going to go Liverpool to potentially edge this one. I think Liverpool might edge the first leg. I think they might edge it. I think they might edge it 2-1, so they'll have the away goal in their favour. But in all fairness, I still think Leipzig are going through. I think Leipzig are going to definitely dominate the second leg. They're a much better team away from home. Like in terms of European football this year, they've been far better away from home than they have been at home. So I'm thinking that. I think if I had to put my head on it, I'm going to say Leipzig 2-1 on Tuesday, but I think it might be the other way around. But I'm still tipping Leipzig, of course, but it'll be interesting anyway. It'll definitely be interesting. It could go either way. I want Leipzig to win, but It just depends on who is more clinical on the night.
Very interesting. Oh, damn it! That was my prediction as well. 2-1 Liverpool. So we've got good minds. It's because we're on the podcast together. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking. But yeah, 2-1 Liverpool. I mean, who to score?
Of course, I'm going to favour Leipzig, but
yeah,
it just depends on who's more clinical, and I think the better defence could clinch it. So I'm going with Leipzig. So Leipzig 2-1. There we go.
Leipzig 2-1. I'll go 2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think the better defence will clinch it.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool. I'm gonna go Leipzig to score first. I'll go for Forsberg to. No, actually, I'll go for Sabitzer to score, and then for us, I'll go for Salah. And I'm actually going to go for Gini Wijnaldum, which might be a bit of a shock, but I know he scored, I think, the week past there at West Ham, so I'm hoping that he can get on the score sheet. But I have to say, it's going to be a very fascinating game, and obviously the second leg. Obviously, if we do hear about, obviously, the second leg potentially being away from Anfield, I will obviously keep you all posted for that game. But as I said, Nagelsmann versus Klopp, it is going to be a cracker. And I'm so happy that I am off work so I can actually watch this game to either be delighted or be like, it is two legs. It is two legs as well. But Reece, a big thank you for coming on and giving all insights into Leipzig. I really do appreciate it. Where can we find you in the socials?
Find me on Twitter, UnitedVenom7, or if you're interested in Twitch gaming, Reece_Lightning1997. I'm on to Twitch now, so I'm here, there, and everywhere.
Absolutely, and we'll obviously see you on the podcast on Monday, every Monday. Your show, of course, isn't it?
It always has been.
Yeah, I'll leave Reece's socials in the description down below. You can go and follow him on Twitter. But yeah, it is great to get you on and get all things insights on all things Leipzig, and it's going to be a fascinating game. So yeah, Reece is going 2-1 Leipzig. I'm going 2-1 Liverpool. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Let us know your starting 11s as well. And hopefully by the game on Tuesday, Liverpool will have beaten Leicester. Fingers crossed. And Leipzig will have beaten Augsburg. So we'll see.
Which has just kicked off.
Exactly. So thank you very much, everyone watching. If you do like the content, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now. Or as they say in German, Auf Wiedersehen.